fa is, and then we go through the whole thing. Okay, good. Let's go, let's start on this note right here. C to D is a whole step. D to E is a whole step. E to F is a half step. F to G is a whole step. Okay, good. And we have already learned by this point that whole step is, actually we start with half step. Everybody take your fingers and do an H in sign language and say half step, one note to the next. Ready? Half step.
Half step, one note to the next.
When we're talking about notes, we're talking about every one of these notes. So one note to the next is a half step. Ready? Half step.
Half step, one note to the next.
And whole step, you're going to take your fingers and do a W in sign language, and you're going to say whole step, one note in between. Ready? Whole step.
Whole step, one note in between.
Half step.
Half step, one note to the next.
Whole step.
Whole step, one
Note in between.
So when I point, you tell me whole or half step. Starting right here. Ready? Go.
Half, 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 half.
What's that? Why is it not whole? Because someone will always say whole. Right, it's not one note to the next, it's one note to the next, there's not one note in between right there, right? So let's go here, tell me whole or half.
Whole, whole, half.
And you'll always have people say whole right there. Why is that not a whole? Because there's not one note in between, yep. And then eventually you can teach the major scale and things like that. So let's start right here. Do to re, or F to G is a ready, go.
F to G is a whole step.
G to A is a
Whole step. A to
B.
Wait. A to B. What's A to B? It's a whole step, so it can't be A to B. What's it got to be? It's got to be a half step. Where's it got to go? To this black note right here. What do we call this? It could be A sharp, but we want to have F, G, A, and then we have B something, so we're going to call it B flat. And that's how I introduce flats, right there. In 7th grade, by like the 4th, by about 3 months in, B flat. So F to G is a whole step, G to A is a whole step, A to B flat is a
half step.
Just make it easier. We're gonna say A to B is a half step, and they think that's so funny. I don't know why it's so funny, but they think it's so funny. Okay, let's sing the whole thing. Ready, go.
F to G is a whole step. G to A is a whole step. A to beef is a half step. Beef to C is a whole step.
Why is that a whole step right there? Because that note is in between it right there. Awesome. And then one kid one day said, "Oh, I get it, Mr. Thornton. So these are right next to each other, and there's a note in between right there." And I thought, I didn't even know that. We just said half step, sign language, whole step, and sign language. So it's all connected. Okay, so then we would go to this and sing this. Me, ready, go.
Me, so, do, re, mi.
Now, they've done this enough that it might get a little bit boring, so what's something we could do to change it up? If you sense some boredom in your students and you're like, I can't. Okay, let's do it staccato. Awesome, staccato. Ready, go.
Me, so, do, re, mi.
And when you do it, everybody take your finger and say staccato, short and detached. Ready, staccato. Staccato, short and detached. So I want you to go me, and don't go long. Ready, go. Me,
so, do, re, mi. Fa, mi,
Re, so.
And you can do all of your challenges, and any of those things would work too. And then let's go to this page right here, and we're gonna go F to G is a ready, go.
F to G is a whole step. G to A is a whole step. A to B is a...
Wait a minute, what do we gotta do here? We need a flat, and so luckily I have a whiteboard that I can write on, a projector whiteboard. So I will write the flat right in there. So A to B is already go.
A to beef is a half step. Beef to C is a whole half step.
Or whole step, sorry. And then we would talk about this right here. And you know what? Maybe I might actually take this off. And then we would go through and say, hey, wait, every single B needs to have a flat. And flat, by the way, is flat down a half step. So everybody take your left hand. Has to be your left hand. Finally, the lefty's gonna do it because we've done some things where it has to be your right hand. Has to be your left hand, otherwise it doesn't look like a flat right there. And say flat down a half step. Ready? Flat.
Flat down a half step.
Okay, so let's pretend these aren't here. I need to go change that graphic. What are we gonna have to do here? B flat, B flat, B flat, B flat, B flat, B flat, and that's it. That's kind of annoying. What if we had to do a whole song like that? That'd be super frustrating. So musicians came up with a great idea. What did they do? Does anybody know? Somebody will know. So they decided that if you put the flat, and if this were down, if you put the flat up on the middle line, right after the treble clef, then it's going to, or is it after the time signature?
It's
right after the, before the time signature.
it's treble clef, T signature, time signature.
Okay, right after the clef, then every single what?
B.
Every single B will be flat in the whole song unless there's another accidental that changes it. So then, boom, all of a sudden they know why we have key signatures and they know the key of F because we talk about do is F. So, let's do 1 minute on that. Everybody choose a partner.